The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So here comes the Raider offense now onto the field. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
So when you call a corner blitz, what a lot of teams call a cat blitz, you're expected to come after the quarterback. But in this case, he ran into the ball carrier. Really nice technique, because what you do is you come deep as the deepest offensive player so he can't get outside of you.
And the offense moving in the wrong direction here now as they face a 2nd and 12. They'll look to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit. 3
and out, a real danger here on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 12.
Let's go! Green, 39!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down. On is the punter King to send it away. It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. So now the Ravens getting ready for their first go on offense. And they will be led out by their 6'4" quarterback. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
But forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he's able to hold on to the football.
And to give this time to the tailback. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Only a yard on the gain there, and that'll set up 3rd and 13. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Let's go!
Throwing on 3rd and long. Richard. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
This defense not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. The Raider offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Now, let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Boy, you go 3 and out on your first drive, and that's not the way you want to start this drive either. Doesn't seem like they're really into it just yet.
No, first 4 plays, you don't want to call it a disaster, but not looking very sharp. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tap.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. They said there was a lot of discussion in their defensive team meeting room after last week's performance. They had 7 sacks. Something in the water. There's one in the first quarter.
A lot of discussion, a lot of excitement because now everyone wants to get involved with this. Who's going to continue that process? Who's going to get to the quarterback this week? But they have to be careful. When you have that much pressure, they want to use it against you. Draws, screens, those types of plays.
We'll see if they do that. And now here come the Ravens. As the season winds down and you look at them in totality, you know, the offense has struggled. The defense has been pretty good, so I would imagine the changes this offseason may be more on the offensive side of the ball.
And this is where we always hear the term complementary football because, as you noted, the defense has played well enough for them to win games, and the offense has held them back. So they've got to reward that defense by improving on offense. I don't know if you make a change at quarterback, running back, tight end. It doesn't matter. Get better players, better system, so they can play to the standards of the defense, and the win column will result.
That one good for 13 and a Raven first down. Great change up there on the route and got that inside release, made it a successful pitch and catch.
Well, the first thing you want to do is have him thinking that you're going outside, make a move in that direction. Then you really don't run the route against the whole body of the defender. You run against a half of him, and the inside half, and he took it right across his face, got inside, and won that route in a big way.
And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Normally, that's not the down and distance that you call a draw play. You usually want to wait to second or third down with a definite passing situation before that play is dialed up.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter one.
Let's go.
Off play action. Richard. Throw left side complete. That's Haynes. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 16 yards on that one and a Raven first. So the offense lining up 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives them a new set of downs.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Throwing on first down. Richard. And some room to work. Finding room to the 20. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore first down. And now the offense operates in the red zone. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. And this is complete. It's Allen. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. Another nice gain. 13 yards that time and another first down. So now it's 1st and goal. And he'll give it here to his running back. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Richard. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. It's their quarterback. His first touchdown on the year. And the Ravens have taken the early lead. This is a crew. They've come out flat their last 2 games, both losses, but just judging by the energy level, they look different here early, and that touchdown shows how.
Yeah, it seems to me that touchdown gets them off the treadmill. Because, you know, you've been on the treadmill. I've seen you work out. You go forever and ever, and it tells you you've gone somewhere, but you really have. You're in the same spot. They've exchanged it for an escalator. Still got some hills to climb, but they can get there.
These are good analogies. I run outside sometimes, though. You know, get some fresh air, a little sun on your face.
A little wind in there.
Yeah, that's right. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And this is their 3rd drive. Maybe the focus right now not so much on points, but getting their first down.
And when you start off a game, you don't even think that's an issue, do you? But you go a drive, a 2nd drive, no first down, that becomes an issue. Now you got to think about, okay, what type of play calling do I have to do to get us in a spot to pick that first one up?
Now a handoff as they run left side. He takes this for 3 to the 29. And this defensive line will be looking to control the point of attack.
And that's what they've done throughout this season. This is a terrific unit. They play together very, very well, and they don't permit big plays to happen.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Newton. And he takes this one just shy of midfield all the way to the 49. The numbers for him from a week ago. 10 catches, 104 yards.
And he's trying to prove the adage, it's not just how you start, it's how you finish. And he is finishing awfully strong, takes great care of his body. I expect him to go ahead and put a capper on this season.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've hit the end of quarter 1. 7-0 is our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this. Ready to go now in the 2nd quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Raiders in possession of the football. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up. They'll run it now out of the gun. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. It's a 7-yard run, but it does bring up 4th down.
But once again, a good example of situational football. That was 3rd and very long, so you know they were guarding against the pass. And when they decided to run the ball, that was okay. Whatever yardage they picked up, as long as they didn't get to the 1st down marker, the defense was willing to concede, and they stopped them well short of a 1st down.
Taking it about the 16. It'll be a 40-yard punt, 8 on the return, and possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again, go play action, hit them over the top.
Now a handoff here to his running back. He'll be dropped at the 30. The shifty move got him a couple extra on the play. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the 1st down marker, and now it's 3rd down. Back to throw. Richard, quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. On 1st down, Richard toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Jennings was the one he was looking for, and that'll bring up 2nd down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Right, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
2nd down now after the incompletion. Off the play fake. Richard under a heavy rush, and down he goes. He didn't get rid of the football there, took the sack. Although that's easier said than done. He can't just chuck the thing sideways into the seats.
No, he really can't, because you're not afforded total protection as a quarterback. You have to get outside of the tackle boxes as defined by the NFL, meaning wherever your tackles operate normally, get outside of that. And the ball that you throw has to get back to at least the line of scrimmage. Otherwise, you face an intentional grounding call.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Richard. And that is incomplete.
But no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
Here's Sam Cook now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And now Oakland ready to take the field. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That good for 19 and a first down.
Really good, solid run right there, and they did it from a 4-wide receiver set. And if you're an offensive coordinator, they used to tell people, hey, we're going to throw the football. Now they use 4 receivers on the field to spread things out, give them more running lanes and more options, and also it usually takes the bigger defenders off the field, makes the defense lighter and easier to run against. A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
A handoff as they run the counter play. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, we have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
Yeah, to this point in the second quarter, it has been a struggle. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down just outside of the 30. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. The Raiders on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
That's a tremendous group effort there, because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were. Throw left side complete. That's Ballard. They've got another first down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Now whistles here, and I believe one of the Raider linemen might have been moving.
False start, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. The Raiders on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 15.
Let's go.
They'll set up a throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And here he'll get it down to the 7. It'll be a pickup of 12 yards. And that'll bring up 4th down.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And his kick here is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. Well, their offense has struggled for sure, but they get the field goal here and at least get on the board before half.
And that's not something we should underestimate, because just getting points on the board can sometimes have a settling effect on a team. Helps them start their comeback.
Setting out to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. It's the second quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going, but we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series so those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they'll search for that patience here now.
Yeah, that wasn't a big run, just a short one there. But guess what? Sometimes you treat it like boxing. You throw that jab out there, and you throw it again, you throw it again, then you come with a big punch later. Maybe they're just trying to set them up.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Only a yard in the pickup there, and it'll bring up a third down. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Oakland after this. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Larry Ridley will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. On third down, Richard. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. On is the punter, Cook, who sends it away. Fielded at about the 28. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal. And I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out-and-out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
And maybe wear down the other defense. We'll see. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Newton. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. He's got his man on the crossing route. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. The Raiders try to move quickly, try to get everybody back to the line. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Newton. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's second down.
All right, here we go.
And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. The Raiders Raiders on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be a tough 3rd and 18.
Let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. Well, they tried to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Ravens out in front as we send you across the country to Orlando. Standing by there, Larry Ridley with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry?
Thanks, Brandon. Thanks, Charles. And welcome to our EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. Both the Raiders and the Ravens haven't had a reliable run game so far. The push up front has not been there, and you have to give credit to both defenses on that front. All right, let's get it going. Let's roll those first half highlights. Cancel late in the first. Richard's looking for room to run, and he capped off the long drive with the TD. As they get out to a 7-0 lead. Ravens have it early in the second. Ebron's going to take down the QB here. This ends up as a loss of 9. So that'll do it for us. Let's get back out to Oakland now as we turn it back over to Brandon Guy.
This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it. And in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
They run a draw here on second down, and he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized.
Let's go.
To throw on third down, Richard. And he's got a man open. That's Allen. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. 12 yards the pickup there. Good for a Raven first.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
And to give this time to the tailback. And some room to maneuver. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 12 yards on back-to-back plays there, and that's another first down.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. First and 10. Richard. Allen's got it over the middle. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Well, there wasn't much there with that hitch route. They didn't gain what they expected. But sometimes when you call a hitch, you really don't have an alternate to go to. You don't have a second route to throw it to. So sometimes you have to rifle in there and hope for the best.
Looking to throw. Richard. And this is caught at the 8. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. The Raven passing game getting in sync. Another first down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. They go play action here on first down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
Well, that was point-counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on first and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
To throw on second down. Richard over the middle, complete. It's Jennings. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's 3rd and goal.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Back to throw. Richard trying to force it to Allen, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. First possession in the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis.
Here we go now. 3-19.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard. And the defense searches for one more stop here after the run on 2nd down.
Here we go now.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's got the first, but we also have a flag on the field. And they're already walking backwards.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Here we go now. 90.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Wide open receiver, complete. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. A very solid gain of 27. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense, because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket. The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Credit the secondary and credit the defensive game plan. They've been in his hip pocket all game long. They understood coming in that he was a big-time receiver.
Here's Marquette King now, as he's on to punt for Oakland. This will be fielded at the 17. Call it an even 40-yard punt. 7, though, on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. Off play action. Richard. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
The Ravens on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Off the play fake. Richard. And Jennings has it. And he takes this one just shy of midfield all the way to the 49. They give him 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much, as he's down to the 48. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Richard. And that one got tipped. Got to throw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for Baltimore. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
On 1st down, they'll run it on the draw play. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. They'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
1 quarter remains here in Week 16. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in the East Bay. It's Raider football here, but they're on the short side of the scoreboard right now as we begin the 4th. And he'll give it here to his running back. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. The Raiders on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 4. He'll drop to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes. That's number 4. Sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case, because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. Here's Marquette King now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. 36 yards on the punt with no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Ravens heading out on offense as we look at the playoff picture in the AFC. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. 16 yards on that one and a Raven first. I don't want to make a story where there's not one, but he threw the 3 interceptions last week. Looked a little uncomfortable. He looks much more comfortable today.
Yeah, just 1 pick so far and his team leads. So now they can play complementary football, meaning if he takes care of the ball and his offense, if they're humming along, the defense doesn't have to be out there as long. He's taking care of his guys on the other side of the ball.
And they're enjoying a 4th quarter advantage. Throwing on first down. Richard looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Jennings. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. A gain of 6 there on first.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
So the offense readies for a 2nd and 4. Off play action. Richard. Across the formation, he's got a man. That's Allen. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. A big play that time for the Ravens. 51 yards. This offense can certainly move quickly when they want to. 3 plays, 3 pass completions. In the blink of an eye, they've got a 1st and goal.
Almost felt like a lightning bolt hit in this game, didn't it? For them to get downfield that quickly. And now 1st and goal, expect them to attack right here on this play.
And the next snap coming inside the red zone here. They come out here in the eye. Now a play fake here on first down. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line.
Well, if you're going to throw the ball on 1st and goal from the 2, the worst thing that should result is an incompletion for you offensively. But Brandon, this is a different type of football. Back in my day, 1st and goal from the 2, a lot of big people with big neck rolls, they were on the field trying to ram it into the end zone.
And they still need 10 yards here to find pay dirt. It's 2nd and goal from the 10. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see. The offense on 3rd down, they've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and goal.
Here we go.
From the gun, Richards. That's complete right around the 8. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice game. They wind up with 6 on the hook up there, but it's not enough. 4th and goal. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here from the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And his kick is right there. It's good. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So, Charles, I think from a defensive perspective, you have to look at that field goal there and consider it a win.
You were able to keep them within a touchdown, so no question about it. That was the kind of stand that keeps you in ball games.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And I would say they went 3 and out last time, but actually they didn't even get to 3 and out. Still a strange decision to us here in the booth.
Yeah, let's hope they don't go 1 and out, but maybe, possibly, let's try and think with them here. Try to play field position maybe, turn the ball over, put it in the hands of their defense. Who knows?
You're a nice man. Looking to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 23 yards on the play. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it. So it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10.
Here we go.
They'll drop to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he's brought down. They've got another 1st down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get 3 down to the 34-yard line.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive. And once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
They're going to look to throw. And this one's incomplete.
Well, they're slinging it. And then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. The Raiders on 3rd down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This is 3rd and 7.
Here we go now. Green 39.
Back to throw. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. He got out of bounds. That's a good thing, but still short of the 1st.
And now, since this brings up 4th down, the defensive play caller, grab your nerves because now you don't want to be so amped up that you give them a 1st down by getting out of your lanes, but you also don't want to just lay back and let them have it easily.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Here we go.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. Call it a 3-yard gain. And on 4th down, they're able to convert and move the sticks.
And on 4th and 1 as a running back, you're looking for any seam you can find. This is not where you want to be a hero and break off a big one. You just need to make sure you get that yard. And here he picks up the first down with a couple of yards to spare.
A gain of 6 there on 1st. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line. That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides. And they give this time to the tailback. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
But he was stopped on that play. But he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
And the defense definitely showing blitz here. Now the offense not going anywhere. They're staying out there. They've converted once already on this drive. Here they go again on 4th down. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And they are going to stop him on 4th and 1 as they'll wind up going backwards. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Ravens are going to get the football back. And they've now made 2 trips to the red zone and still looking for their first touchdown.
Not able to punch it in, and if you're on defense, your confidence is sky high. Because mentally, you're saying, hey, you're in the red zone. We're thinking we're giving up 3. We just want to give up 6. In this case, they end up not giving up the touchdown at all. They've got to feel great about what they got done.
Offense still needing 10 yards. 2nd down. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop. 1:50 left in the football game. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for Baltimore. And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. They had a great drive going last time. They were moving the ball, and then all of a sudden it just stalled out. So we'll see what they can do here, Charles.
And it's always easy to second guess when you don't get it on a 4th down try. But they had to like the feeling that they had going on offense. They want to continue to see if they can capture that again on this drive and maybe get in the same position.
Yeah, and that's, like I said, they were moving the football. It's not like they went 4 and out, so I don't think it's a deal where the offense doesn't have confidence.
No, I agree with you totally on that one. If anything, they may have gained more confidence. Okay, they stopped us once. That's all right. Let's keep moving it. Make them do it again.
Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he'll be out of bounds, able to take it down to the 40. Give him a first down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders. And he did exactly what they needed him to do, Charles. Got out of bounds. They have no timeouts.
And they knew that before the play even began. Still executed it. How many times have we seen it happen where you know it, yet a guy's still looking for a timeout or trying to stay in bounds? He got it done.
He's back to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
Back to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. Call it a gain of 5, and that's going to bring up a third down. He'll look to throw. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off at the 21. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. Scoring has really been at a premium. And, Charles, you got to tip your cap to this defense coming in here. Their offense, too, but this whole team coming in here on the road, getting a hard-fought win.
I think the way that they're finishing this one up, an exclamation point on a terrific game. As you noted, hard for them to put points on the board, and they hold them down one more time and finalize things.
Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. The Ravens taking a knee with victory seemingly in hand here. The Ravens on third down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Well, Charles, the old saying, the old cliche, if you will, points at a premium, that certainly applied here, didn't it?
And that almost felt like opened up a time capsule, didn't it? Old school football, low scoring, close game. What a way to finish it up.
You loved it, didn't you? You loved the defenses.
I certainly did. Brought back the images of the game of old.
So for Baltimore, the wins have been hard to come by, but they get one here to move to 4-11 on the year. And they will head home next week to take on the Washington Redskins. Meanwhile, for the Raiders, their playoff hopes take a big hit as they fall to 8-7. And they'll be at home for one next week as the Atlanta Falcons come to town. So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. From Oakland, we sign off. So long, everybody.